welcome to the vlog. We have got something a little bit special for you guys today. I'm here at my friend Tucker's house.
What's up, guys?
And he just got himself a 350Z. How long have you had it?
About a month now.
About a month. And basically what we're gonna do is we are gonna get this ready for drifting. So we are gonna do absolutely everything that needs to be done, minus the big parts like coilovers and stuff like that, today. And we're gonna show you guys, if you got a 350Z and you just bought it and you want to drift it, what's next? What do you need to do first? What needs to be done? What needs to be deactivated? And how can you get out on the track and have everything set up perfectly in the first couple of weeks? That's what we're gonna show you, and we are gonna show you too, so we can get it set up. Okay, not like that, but somewhat like that. Yeah, it's gonna look just like this one, but by the time we leave. So
basic drift setup.
Basically, I think what we're gonna do first today,
Beginner drift setup.
yeah, beginner drift setup, kind of like what my dad's doing right now. So I think what we're gonna do first is, this is a track edition, I believe. Yep. So he's got the track edition wheels, he's got the Brembos on there. So he's got VDC on the car, but we're gonna go ahead and take that out. We're probably gonna take the airbag sensors out, which, if you remember from my dad's video, is down here in the center console. So we're gonna take all of that out of the car to get to that. We're gonna take the caps off the front rotors, so that way we can put the 245s from the rear on the front and put the 225s on the back, so that way we have more grip up front. Basically Nissan put some caps on there to make it so you can't accidentally put the wrong wheels up front. So we are gonna reverse all of that, and then we're gonna do some stuff under the hood and just get it ready. Make sure everything's ready to drift. You ready for this, man? You ready to get to the track and start kicking ass?
Yeah, man. I appreciate you coming.
Start banging doors.
I'm ready.
You ready for dents all in it?
Oh yeah.
I'm ready to. I have no dents. All right, let's get it done. All right, so we took the negative terminal off. It's right here. Tuck it out of the way. That makes it so we have no power at all in the car. You want to pump the brakes maybe 5 or 10 times just to get the rest of the residual power out, because we are working again with airbags. And we're gonna go ahead and take this heat shield off. This just holds in a lot of heat. There's two VVTi solenoids that are on the bottom, and if those get hot under here, which they like to do, it can actually blow those and keep the car cool, keep the car happy. And that's pretty much the trick to saving a motor when you're drifting. Right, so we took the last bolt off of here, and we can get that crap and take it off and expose the actual motor. So that way, a lot of the heat now is gonna just dissipate, and you can take a lot of heat off of inside your gaskets, which dry rots them and gives you leaks, your solenoids. It's overall just better for the motor. Yeah. I think it looks better too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But this, we will now frame on the wall. So now that we got everything in here done, you want to go around and you want to check and see if there's anything missing. As you can see, there's a clamp here missing for the ECU loom. There's a couple clamps here that are missing. This was unsnapped, as you can see. There's a couple things that is loose in here that needs to be tightened down. A couple of things that need to be added, which zip ties will fix. But you want to make sure everything in the motor is completely sorted, everything is tight, everything is plugged in. Literally, you're going to want to check everything. Of course, you could actually check this before you get the car. So if you're buying the car, you're going to want to literally go through everything. I can't stress enough that the oil is something you're going to want to check. These cars love to burn oil, so you're going to definitely want to check that, make sure it's okay. You want to smell the radiator fluid, make sure you don't smell any exhaust fumes or any oil in that. Make sure that's all clean, fluid. And of course, after you're done test driving the car, you're going to want to check it again, let it cool off, of course, and check everything again and see if there's any like gases bubbling up in here, because that means it could have a bad head gasket. But if you get a Z, and this is the easiest way to tell, if you get a Z or you're looking at a Z and you notice that there is buttons on the steering wheel, you see how there's buttons right here? If you see any of that, basically the car's not a base model, meaning that the car's got some upgraded parts. Some of those parts could include VDC, which cuts your power as soon as you start drifting. It's just basically traction control. You can turn it off, but by turning it off, it actually still keeps it active, I think by 15 to 20%, which means that you are actually going to be losing power throughout the drift, even though you think it's off. It's not. So you got to manually disconnect it, which is what we are going to do next. And then it comes with other upgrades, of course, like Brembos and upgraded wheels. So things like that you're going to want to check for. Your airbags you're going to want to disconnect, which is also under here in the center console. Once you disconnect that, you're going to have an airbag light, but your airbags will be inactive. So if you're drifting and you run off the track, something happens, your airbags aren't going to deploy. You're not going to blow out the, dashboard, and it's not going to be a pain and a mess. So definitely want to disconnect all that. All right, so we're going to start on the passenger side. You're going to want to put the seat up. You're going to want to scoot it forward. There is a bolt here. There's also one on the other side. And then you're going to want to pull this out. And there's a couple bolts under here. And then all of this is just going to pull right out. Alright, so once you get to this step, there's a couple bolts down here. You don't want to touch these. This holds in all of the shifter linkage, so don't touch this. There's a bolt right here. There's also one right here. And this holds the center console. As you can see, it comes around and it bolts in, and that holds it to the dash. And then I've got to take the bolt off, which is on the back of this side. And then all of this will come out. We also have to disconnect the emergency light. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get that bolt in the back. Just go ahead and pull the seat all the way up and then put the back up. Once you get all of those 4 bolts out, the 2 at the back and the 2 at the front, you're gonna wanna open up this. If you have it, pull this out. And there's a final bolt under there that holds in the center console. It's also a Phillips head. The only thing left is to pull out the rest of the center console. This is the fun part because there's a lot of wiggle. You gotta pull it over the e-brake, so you gotta set the e-brake a certain way, and then you gotta disconnect the emergency lights. But you just gotta pull really hard and then it'll pop out. Should just lift right off. You gotta angle the e-brake a certain way though, so that way you can lift it up and out. But with enough wiggle, you can get it out of here. You want to disconnect the harness that controls your emergency lights. It's just this right here. It snaps in. You just push it in, pull it out, and then that disconnects everything off the center console. You pull up, and you pull out, and it's gone. Just like that. She's gone, and that exposes everything in your center console. So we'll start at top. You've got your VDC. This is for the VDC button, also known as traction control. So all we're going to do is disconnect this harness, tape it off, and keep that disconnected. And then this is what most people don't like to touch. This is your airbags. And this is your 3 harnesses. Harness 1, 2, and 3. Side pillars, main airbags for the dash and steering wheel, and then seats. So all of these we're going to pull out, and then we're going to tape those off as well, so that'll disconnect the airbags. Disconnect the VDC. So we're gonna do all of that right now. Alright, so we are gonna take out the bracket. There is a Phillips here, there's a Phillips here. Then we're gonna pull this out. The clip for this is actually on the bottom. So you gotta take this out to flip it to take this out, and then we're gonna tape it off. So we're gonna start right here. Once you have this disconnected, just get it, flip it on over. There's the connector. We just got to pull that off. Once you take that out, you just unclip it, it pulls out, and then your VDC is officially disconnected.
So I don't need to put that in there anymore?
No, we are done, dude. So your well, not totally done, but your VDC is totally out. There it is.
Drift ready.
It's gone. We ain't never going to use that again. Stop it, burn it, catch it on fire. We don't need that shit.
Flamethrower.
It's gone.
With the flamethrower.
Let's do it.
Let's do it
right now.
Let's do it with the flamethrower later.
So that's out. We're just gonna tape this off because you never want any metal to metal connection. We'll get that out of the way. And the next is the airbags. All right, so we've got the connector all taped up, and we're gonna just zip tie it right here out of the way so it stays out of everything. I like to tape this up instead of cutting any wires because you never know if you want to reverse this, if you ever want to sell the car. So this way all you have to do is reinstall the box, put the two screws back in for the bracket, and then it would be totally reconnected. Alright, so now that this is all done, the button, of course, we can just keep here, but we won't have to worry about it. Next is the airbags. This is very simple. Of course, you're going to want to make sure, again, that your battery has been disconnected, and you do want to pump the brake a couple times because you don't want to have any airbags blow up in your face. But all you need is a flathead, and it's super easy. All you have to do is put your flathead right here and just wiggle it back and forth. And there you go. That's one. And then you've got to do the middle one, which is done as well. And then you want to do the last one. And there we go. That is all 3 of the airbag modules disconnected. Now we're going to tape these up as well. I usually leave the box in here. There's a couple bolts if you do want to take it out for extra room. But I usually just leave it in here. It's just extra stuff that you don't need to take out, and plus it has the brackets for the center console for where it screws in. So I would say just leave the box, take these harnesses out, and then just tape them up, and then that will disconnect all of the airbags. And we've got all of the airbag ones all taped off. We've actually taped off the box as well, so that way these can't touch anything. And we're going to zip tie them right here. So that is the airbag disconnect, and this is the VDC way to disconnect it. So this is all done. You are going to have some extra airs on the dash. That's normal. It's going to be like that. But yeah, you don't have to push the button anymore. None of your airbags are going to work. So that way, if you run off the track, you tap something, you hit a cone the right way, it can set off your airbags. And of course, you don't want traction control on a drift car. So that's what you definitely need to do first. Next, we are going to put everything back together, and then we are going to start on most likely the dust caps on the wheels. So we have got everything back together, all the center consoles back in. So when we get in the car and we go to start it, we have the slip light, the VDC light, and we've got the airbag light. The rest of those will turn off in a minute. Yeah, so basically your VDC button doesn't work. As you can see, when I tap it, it doesn't do anything. And airbags don't work, but the horn does. So now that that is done, and we've got that totally sorted through, the only thing left on this car is it needs an open diff, so that way we can weld it. So what we're gonna do next, I think, so far we've got the airbags done. We've got the VDC, all that. Yeah, it's totally done, and everything was successful. Thank God.
Got the heat shield off.
Yeah, the heat shield's out.
We need to do the plastic underneath.
The plastic underneath has got to go. We got to take those dust caps off those rotors, put the rear tires on the front so we have more grip up front. And then while we have the car lifted up, I think it'll be easier to take the bumper off then. So all you have to do is take these 6 clips out, use a flathead, pop them out, and then
the bumper off for again?
We're taking the bumper off for more airflow for the intake. But we're gonna eventually, once we're done clearing it out, we're gonna put it back on. We're just gonna take all the styrofoam and all the crap out from underneath, so that way the air can go through the grill and into the intake a little bit better. And that way, once you get it's like $2 Amazon clips, you can just put them here, take the screws off, and then you got a quick release bumper. And it'll come on and off whenever you want.
And then we just gotta jump online and order all the parts?
Yeah, then we get to order parts. That's the fun part. We get to spend money. Alright, so we lifted up the sides, we took off the back wheels, and we took off the front wheels. These are actually the fronts. We have them at the back because that's what we're going to be putting on the back. And then we have the rear wheels up here. Now, what I was talking about is when you look at your rotor, it almost looks like you got 5 lug studs. This one here is what comes off. You literally, it's so easy to take off. You literally can just twist it and it comes right off.
So this is what stops you from being able to put the rear wheels onto the front?
Yes, yeah, this is what basically stops you from putting the rear wheels on the front, because this here, as you see, it came off and now it's flush with the rotor, it hits the back of the wheel. So yeah, what that hits is it hits actually right here on the inside. You can see on the rear wheels there's a little lip right here on this, and that's what the bolt hits and makes it so it doesn't allow you to mount the rears on the front. But if you go to the front wheels, that entire piece should be hollow, and as you can see, that entire piece is hollow. So there's no lip here, so it's totally flat, and that allows for the bolt to sink into this piece and allow you to mount the fronts on the fronts and the rears on the rear. By taking that off, it allows you to rotate them, and the back one is already flush, so you don't have to do nothing on the back. All right, so next we are actually on the ground by the bumper, and we are taking off the air dam and all of the plastic underneath, which is just a bunch of 10mm bolts, and that will get rid of all this plastic. So that way if you run off the track, nothing's gonna get caught under the car. There is all of the plastic. All of this, when you go off-road, likes to get mangled, and then you're stuck on the ground in the mud trying to get all this unhooked from debris. So it's better to just take it off, and then you're left with a nice, clean underbody. So there's nothing to catch branches now. All right, so I think we just about have everything done. We got rid of the VDC and the airbags. We took out the, what was it, the air dam underneath. What else did we do? We switched the wheels around, took off the dust covers, and now we're taking her for a rip.
Airbags.
Airbags, yeah. Yep. Yeah, there's a lot more to go, but we don't have a lot of sunlight, and there's not much lighting around, so I think we're gonna call it a night. However,
we just gotta order the parts.
We got the keys, which means we are. Sure, I'll drive, and then I'll let you drive, and we'll go back and forth. All right, so we just got back, and dude, it felt good. What'd you think?
Yeah, dude, huge difference. Man.
Totally different,
totally
right?
Different, yeah.
And you got much more power throughout the corner.
I can feel the power, huge difference. That's probably what I noticed the most.
Yeah.
And definitely need to weld the rear diff, and after that, I think.
Yeah, you see, we were talking about he's got an LSD in it, and we were talking about it unlocking, and you finally got to see what I was talking about. It unlocks, and you almost get an understeer, and then it kicks back in, and it's unreliable. That's the problem with LSDs. You can't do what you want every single time the same way. It's not very consistent.
But power-wise, yeah, I felt a huge difference in power-wise. Even just switching the front tires to the back, I felt a way better control within the front. Yeah. Big difference.
Just small little changes, and there's so much more to go.
Yeah, super simple little changes.
Like something we haven't even done yet. We forgot to take the bump stops off the front knuckles. So we're gonna be taking those off probably next time I'm out here.
Yeah.
Probably soon, because we gotta order some parts now, which get to spend some money. That's always fun. But yeah, we didn't even take the bump stops off, so there's more angle with that, and that's free.
Yep.
There's just so much with these cars. You know, if you just got a 350Z or you're thinking about drifting, just get a Z. Awesome. Because
they're the best starting drift car, especially if you're on a budget, man.
Pretty much. And they're not that expensive. Yes, drift tax is hitting them, but they're not like over 10 grand. You can get a really nice one for like 7.
Or you could get a deal like I got.
Yeah. So listen to this deal. He just got this 350Z for a trade.
It's an 03 with 120,000 miles. It's the track touring edition
with Brimbos.
With Brimbos.
With Brimbos. And what did you trade for it?
Exhaust and headers, and I traded an AR-15 for it.
He traded an AR-15 for that. He builds custom AR-15s and guns, so he traded a custom AR-15 for a car with Brimbos.
Has the good training in it.
And it's got the CD09 trans. I think that's a hell of a deal.
Yeah.
Unless the guy uses the AR-15 to come back and get his card back. That would be weird, but let's hope that don't happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad you like it, man. And we're not done yet. We still got to order parts, but I think that's going to do it for the vlog. I'm glad you like it though.
Yeah, I love it, man. I really appreciate you coming out, dude.
And you're going to be seeing a lot of them out at the track, because we're going to be ordering everything from the fire extinguisher to the helmet, coilovers, everything to get it ready. So
yeah,
you are going to see him out at the track very soon.
I'll be out there with the crew drifting.
Hell yeah, man.
Getting sideways.
Well, hope you guys enjoyed the vlog. I hope this helped you guys out, especially if you want to start drifting, or if you already have a Z and you already do drift, but you just don't know what you got to do next. So I hope this video helps. Just to recap, #1 top thing you should always do before you buy a Z, or if you have a Z, see if you have the buttons on the steering wheel. If you have any buttons on your stock OEM steering wheel, that means you either have VDC and LSD and some other things that need to be disconnected, which is what this video is for. If you have no buttons on your steering wheel, then perfect. It's a base model just like what I had. You don't have to worry about any of the stuff that was in that video today, except for the fact that you need to weld your diff. So if you want to get into drifting, get a base model, but if you find a really good deal on one that is like a track edition like this one, then just follow these steps. It's not too hard.
No, not
Took
at
us
all.
what, like 2 hours to get absolutely everything done?
And we were
So,
talking most of the time.
yeah, we were
Dicking
literally,
around.
we would not shut up. We were just running our mouth, and I'm like, yeah, I need to get this done, but I can't stop talking, so. All right, guys, I hope you guys all enjoyed the vlog. Please comment, like, and subscribe. I hope, again, that this helped you out, and I will see you guys in the next video.